A year ago, I came up with the bright idea of making a game. But then I came to the obvious realization that I had no idea how to make a game. So, like every other clueless beginner, I typed the question into YouTube since I had absolutely no experience or idea of how to make a game. I then discovered that you're supposed to use a game engine to make your game. I chose Unity because Unreal is mainly for 3D, and I just really wasn't vibing with Godot for some reason. So then, the next day, I downloaded Unity and made my first ever project. My plan for my first game was to make a really cool platformer. Of course, that didn't really last too long. Even though I realized pretty early on that this is not really gonna work, I made this ugly sprite for it. And when I opened my first script, I realized that I had no idea how to code. So I also accepted that the whole idea of wanting to make a game can go straight out of the window. Then, after giving up of the idea, I made some simple code. Copied straight from a tutorial, of course. And you might say, well, that's not that bad. Well, think again, this was the code I was trying to write by myself before copying the tutorial. But in the end, I guess it's not that bad for a first project. It has movement, I learned what an if statement is. It's not good, but it's not that bad. As for my second game, I did not really had any idea of what to make, so I asked my dad. And he told me to make one of those games where there are planes coming at you, and you are also a plane, and you are trying to shoot the other planes. There was only one thing I remember struggling with on that project, which was collisions, and more like collision detections. I had no idea how to do them, so I struggled a lot with that. And also because that was a new function other than updates, so I had no idea what I was doing. And as for the code to spawn the enemy planes, I pretty much just copied that from a tutorial. I remember being really proud of this project, and of course I showed it to everyone I knew, and I guess it's not that bad. I'm still kind of proud of it, even though the gameplay is just plain boring and sometimes totally impossible. Next in line is Mochi Girl, which is really just a copy of the game Tofu Girl, with the exception that it had a lot of bugs and didn't really ever work. But this game did have two pretty good points. It had a ground check in it, which is quite unlike my first ever game, and it also had animations, which I just learned here, but I didn't really learn it because I didn't know it the next time I had to use it. In the previous project I learned about the existence of raycats, so I wanted to learn it, and I apparently learned it here, but I did not actually learn it because I never really remembered it. I still don't know really raycats. Anyway, the game was about having two blocks that you can make touch with the raycast, and it detected it. Wow. Now, what would be a logical assumption to make here? Maybe that I should still learn things, and that I should stick to making smaller projects. Yeah, no, wrong. My idea was that, yeah, now I know everything. No, I didn't. You might ask, how in the world did I came up with that assumption? My logic was that now I know how to attach references to scripts, and I thought that that was everything. Therefore, I then decided to make a whole game, which obviously didn't really turn out too well. I pretty much just made the exact same thing as I did with my first game, except for the fact that I did make the ground check here, so I guess that's good. After that, I made Flappy Bird, the typical beginner game. There's nothing really special about this, it's just Flappy Girl with this pink aesthetic, and I was really proud of the UI on this one. I guess it's not that bad, it was good for the time, and I still haven't made any better UI systems than this, so I guess it's not that bad. For the next game, I also only made a movement script. And I think you can start seeing the pattern. Anyway, so this one's actually kind of cool. It had reasonable jumping and gravity. I even had wall jumps in this one, and dashing, and the camera moves along with the player in a better way, I guess, than in the other ones. It really wasn't that bad. The only reason I stopped working on it was because I wrote the whole entire movement script in one script, so it was just a big bowl of tangled up spaghetti, and it was, and I didn't really understood anything from this by the end, especially. So I couldn't really figure out how to add animations into it, and then just gave up on the whole project. For the next one, I asked my friend, what game should I make? And she told me to make the game where you're like with a marble and need to jump over the obstacles and stuff. This is also a game I didn't finish, but this one is actually just because I got really bored of making it, but still, let's appreciate the levels I made. This was my first time experimenting with trying to make levels. I guess it didn't turn out that bad, though all of them use the same gimmick, so it's not too interesting. And as for the next one, or the one I'm currently working on, I guess it's not too bad. I did say that to all of them, and all of them were really bad. But anyway, this one is a top-down game, which I really just made to practice stuff, but then I realized that I was kind of enjoying making it. And this is so far the furthest I have come with any game. I even made an attack system which does not really work, but I will fix it. And I made this slime that does like cool attacks. I think it's not too bad. I even learned how to make state machines here, which is really useful. That could have saved that huge script I wrote for the other game. So yeah, that's where I am right now. So far, gamedev just felt like continuously running straight at a wall, just to get up and come up with a new idea to run straight at a wall again, which takes a lot of patience to continue doing, but it's just so cool to make games and create stuff.